Yes, welcome to Q&A with Raw Chef Yin. I can't remember what episode this is. I think it's episode 28, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, this is the Instagram edition where I will answer your questions on raw vegan food and sometimes on cooked vegan food. And today's question, it says, "Hey chef, just wanted to ask you if you have any suggestions for this. It's my SPM questions." Emoticon with face sweating. Hey, Edward, good to see you. Hi, Edward. So I'm doing this. I'm trying to do this 15-minute Q&A session. I usually do it on Facebook Live. From time to time, I do it on Instagram as well. And I'm answering a question. This is going to be in Malay, so I'll do a translation after that. It says, tugasan. Anda ditugaskan untuk menyediakan satu hidangan dessert barat sempena majlis ulang tahun perkahwinan ibu bapa anda yang ke-25 tahun. Berdasarkan pernyataan itu, sediakan perancangan kerja, masak dan hidangkan satu hidangan dessert barat yang kreatif dengan menggunakan bahan tempatan dan barat sebagai sumber utama untuk majlis ulang tahun perkahwinan ibu bapa anda itu. Dihitung kos masakan itu. Okay, so let me try and translate this. My Malay is not very good, but let me try and translate it. Basically, you're asked to make a Western dessert for the 25th wedding anniversary of your parents, and perancangan kerja. What's perancangan kerja? Maybe Wani can explain. Hi Wani. Masak dan hidangkan satu hidangan dessert. Okay, so you're supposed to come up with, I guess, your workflow. Yeah, perancangan kerja is workflow. And then the question asks you to make a Western dessert. Using local ingredients, both local and Western ingredients as the main ingredient, is it? Gunakan bahan tempatan dan barat. So it's a mixture, I suppose, of both Western and local ingredients for your parents' wedding anniversary, and you're supposed to cost it as well. Wow. Okay. So number one, before I answer this question, let me just add some caveats. Number one, I took my SPM exam in 1990, which is 29 years ago. So it's very different. I think the exam questions might be very different from then and now. Number two, I do not teach any classes for SPM students, so do not take my advice as for your SPM exams. Number three, I never took this, what's this called? Science Rumah Tangga, so I don't even know what it's called in English. What? Economic something. Anyway, I never took that subject as well in 1990, so I wouldn't know. And number four, seriously, I think when you come and ask me questions like this, I think you as a person need to figure out what you want to do and attempt that question first. And then when you get stuck, you can say hey chef, I'm stuck in these certain areas. I've tried doing this. I've tried doing the costings. Is this correct? Or I've come up with some ideas. What are your suggestions on that? If you send me this question and you just ask me like that, it's like you're asking me to answer your question for you. So should I sit for your exam as well? That's what people used to say, and now I'm using the same thing. Anyway, okay, so after clarifying all that, let me think. Making a dessert. I like making desserts. I don't eat so much desserts, but I love making desserts. I'm going to talk about it from a raw point of view. And maybe I'll talk about some suggestions on what local ingredients to use. And this is one of my favorite books for raw desserts. It's by, obviously, my favorite raw vegan chef. Although he doesn't seem very raw now. He's very vegan, but not very raw. Matthew Kenny. And if you are talking about Western desserts, you'll have ice cream, you'll have cake, you have puddings. What else? You have pies, you have tarts. So this would give you a good reference actually. Cookie in his book he talks about cookies and candies and brownies and bars and fudge and flans and custards and cakes and cheesecakes and ice cream. So I think you need to, number one, decide what kind of dessert you want to make. Like, I will give an example, like in my book, Raw Vegan Delights Asian Edition, there's a dessert section. I make a roselle ice cream. So that's a Western dessert with a local twist because the roselle plant and is planted and grown in Malaysia, and I wanted to use that. I also have a dessert which I have a fudge, and that's a chili fudge. So it's a chocolate chili fudge. So I guess you have your, yeah. So I suppose fudge is like considered Western, and the chili is considered Asian. We use so much chili here. Let me see. I know I came up with a cake which also had, I think I had lemongrass in the cake. No, it was lemongrass and roselle cake. I made things, ice cream. I'm always using local elements in my ice cream. So I've made like a lemongrass ice cream. Bentong ginger is also very, very popular in Malaysia, and it's also very known for its medicinal properties. So I've made bentong ginger ice cream. I've also made a bentong ginger relish. Yeah, so I love lemongrass. You could think about what kind of local ingredients that you can incorporate into your Western dessert. Yeah, think about maybe local fruits as well. Yeah, we have rambutan, we have chiku. I know I used to make this chiku pudding, which I absolutely love as well. Yeah, so look at the fruits, look at the local herbs. You could look at local flowers as well, the edible flowers as well. So it could be quite interesting. Let me see. You know what? Let me just say hi to who has joined. You guys can say like which country you're from as well. I know FP Vegan has joined. He's in London. Please check out his page and go, if you're in London, go for his talks as well. He's giving talks at all the vegan events. Carrie, thanks for joining. Wani is from KK. Thanks for joining. Veggie Nessa, are you in Australia right now? Young Sun 76, hello. Iju Vita, hello. Barbara Ramos, hello from the US. The Hungry Chloe, hi. And yeah, so the other question was costings. So yeah, so once you've decided what dessert you want, whether you want to do your ice cream or you want it to do a cake, or you want it to do a pudding, or you want it to be a frozen dessert, or you want it to have some cookies, or whether you want to combine that somehow together, then think about the local ingredients that you want to use, and then after that develop your recipe, and then after that you need to start doing your costing. So you need to find out the cost of the ingredients. I'm not sure what in your exam questions do they ask you to also cost labor, and whether they ask you to cost your time, and whether they also ask you to cost things like travel, transportation, electricity and all that, and whether you also want to cost your R&D as well. I mean, exams and real life, honestly, it's two totally different things. So I would suggest that you check with your teacher, or you check on your textbooks or whatever it is, because like I said, I've never taken this school exam ever before, so I wouldn't be able to advice exactly on question 2 about that. I think you should have the formats and the structure for that as well. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Yeah. And then the other question I had was on this. Hold on. Let's see. It was on Instagram. I think So I put up this picture on Instagram and it became very popular. It's a blue panna cotta, butterfly pea panna cotta. In fact, this actually relates back to the first question, because this would be a Western dessert using some local ingredients as well. So this is a panna cotta, a raw vegan panna cotta, which means it doesn't use cream. And to replace cream, we actually use coconut flesh. Yeah, and coconut flesh would be a local ingredient. And then we also use the butterfly pea flower, which grows abundantly in Malaysia as well. So I could suppose that could also be a local ingredient. But then if you look at I've used blueberries, which is definitely not a Malaysian ingredient. And I've also made a blueberry sauce as well. So that's your combination of bahan tempatan dan bahan barat. Yeah. And and actually you should just check out this recipe is actually on Yoko's Instagram feed. Yoko is the owner of Shoku Iku, which is a raw and organic cafe in Melbourne. And I was checking out a feed and I saw the recipe and I was like, wow, let me try this. It's actually quite straightforward, except for the part where you need to make your Irish moss gel. Yeah, but I think time is ending, so I will talk about that maybe in my next episode. So that's that. And then I just made the sauce. It's very simple. It's just blackberries and a bit of Irish moss as well, just to make it a bit thicker. And then I also made an almond crumble, which is also really simple. Just activated almonds together with dates, and then I just ground it up, and it became a very natural crumble. So yeah, so I put that there, and then I made the sauce, and then that was the panna cotta, and then what I also did was I took some of the dried butterfly pea flowers, and then I put it in my meal attachment of my NutriBullet and ground it up. So until it's like kind of like powder. You know how some desserts people use freeze-dried raspberry powder or freeze-dried, I think there's strawberry powder as well. So I don't want to buy that because I don't know how they freeze it. Although I know a lot of chefs are using that nowadays. That's like one of the things for the textures. I'm more like, hey, you know what? I have these blue flowers, and if I grind it up, it looks like powder anyway. And then I put it on top. Yeah. And then I put it on top. Oh, creme brulee, yes. So I sprinkle it on top as well. So yeah, that's where I got the inspiration from the freeze-dried raspberry powders. I put the bunga telang powder as well. Isn't that cool? I think bunga telang powder is like way cooler than freeze-dried raspberry powder. And much cheaper, I think. Especially if you can get your own bunga telang and pick it and dry and all that. So yeah, so that's the answer to today's question. And my 15 minutes is up. So thanks so much for joining, Nicole. Thanks for joining. Thanks for telling me where you guys are from as well. We have someone from US. We have Young San from Seoul, and we have Wani from KK. So that's the end of today's episode. If you want to ask more questions, post it on one of my Instagram posts or post it on my Facebook post on my Facebook page or one of my Facebook videos as well, and then I will answer it there. Till the next time, I guess I should say, keep on rocking. Bye bye, I guess. I'll see you at my next event, Perth Vegan Expo.